guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So today we're gonna go ahead and go against Broly. Broly is the toughest fight in the game by far. To me, Broly as like a difficult fight is like the God event at no point was anything even close to Broly, right? I think the hardest fight in the God event probably was the Clown God of Destruction, right? Because he was able to do things like seal your characters and lock your characters and stuff like that. But Broly, they really did combine just a couple of different things to make Broly just feel like a complete menace, right? When you compare, like, then add the 3 attempts per day, it really does feel insurmountable beating Broly if you're not using LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, or if you're not using, like, the LR Gods, the 7th Anniversary units. If you don't have them on the team, it is very difficult to get through Broly at all, with any build, with any setup, with any other characters, because the 7th Anniversary LRs, they do everything, right? And they're just so much better than other units in the game. When you have them taking off 7 life bars when they triple super with 3 10 million attack stats that are super effective against all types, right? Like, it gets ridiculous, and then they have 1 million defense on top of it, and they're able to hang in there against Broly's tough hits. But for the most part, you get disintegrated in here. So what I want to do is, Global's probably still maybe even about 3 months away. I'm recording the commentary for this video on April 27th. I think Global will probably get this in around 3 months-ish. Probably around July 27th, actually, like sometime in that range. July 30th, maybe like closer to July 25th. I don't know, somewhere around there. Global is going to get the final couple of stages for Red Zone. Broly, Omega, Bojack, Janemba, Super 17, and the Shadow Dragons. All of those drop the last portion of the Red Zone. And I just want to kind of give you guys like a good look at how teams perform against Broly. I think more so Broly. I could do, some runs against Super 17. I think, to me, I really think Bojack might be the 3rd hardest fight in the Red Zone. Specifically because of the reason that Bojack in the final phase guaranteed locks and locks one character and seals a character every single time, right? A lot of bosses that lock and seal do not do it guaranteed every turn. Bojack does, and it's at the end of the fight. Omega does it as well, but his is not guaranteed, and he does it at the start of the fight. The fact that you have to get to Tech Bojack, and then he's doing that, makes him just really frustrating to fight sometimes. Again, when you're not using the overpowered 7th Anniversary LRs, right? So, I want to use the Heroes team. We're going to start by doing the Heroes team. This video is, 4 or 5 attempts. We do not beat Broly. I think you probably could beat Broly. This first attempt went really, really well. I was actually disappointed in this Goku. I feel like he took quite a bit more damage than I really would have liked. Keep in mind that if he's taking that type of damage against Tech Broly, he is going to get slaughtered by AGL Broly at the end. AGL Broly, who is very unfair. Because even though Goku is a guarding character, I believe that, like, Goku would take a bit extra damage from AGL Broly, because he's type disadvantage even though he is guarding. I believe it does work that way, right? Like, Tech Ultimate Gohan, you'll never see it with him because he stacks up so fast, but he would take a little bit extra damage, I believe, against an Int-type enemy as well. But the reason Broly... Here's the thing. You go into this fight, and you can't live against you cannot survive AoE Broly, right? Like, you have to have such specific setups to survive this without items. It's actually insane, right? Like, there's only a handful of characters in the game that can eat this. So the reason this Broly fight is so hard is because you have to use your items against AoE Broly or you have 0 chance. You can't, there's nothing you could do. Like, you can't, he AoE hits the whole rotation for 1 million plus damage. There's nothing you can do. If I didn't use double Whis right there, he would have hit. Super Saiyan 3 Trunks might have even taken double digits. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks would have probably taken 500k, 600k plus. And then God Trunks would have taken around 1 million damage. Because God Trunks gets almost all of his defense when he super attacks, right? So, it just puts you in a situation where it's like, you are just, like, STR Broly and Tech Broly at the start, like, you can't use items against them. There's no way. Like, you can't, if you use items in either of the first 2 phases, you've lost. right? Unless you're using, you know, the Omega powerful Anniversary LRs on your team, and, you know, they can carry you. Or the third-year LRs with their deep, you know, like, fight healing is very helpful. You know, Tech Kale and Cleave with their healing is very helpful, right? Because it's like, you probably have to expend your items to sort of, like, to protect yourself against AoE Broly, but then it puts you in a position where you can't heal besides, like, you know, characters that heal, or, you know, orbs from the field. You know, you're not able to use any defensive items potentially against, like, AGL Broly, who is, like, the second hardest hitting enemy in the game, despite the fact that you have to get through an AoE phase to get to him. And I have not mentioned it to this point, but the reason, it's just a combo of everything, right? Broly has an AoE, which is doing 1,000,000+ damage on the rotation. AGL Broly, this guy is actually just, like, ridiculous. His, like, okay, so what does Vegeta have? His defense is 500k right there. And he super attacks first. Vegeta, I believe, is rocking, like, 600k plus defense. He gets hit for a super attack, and he takes, like, doesn't he take, like, 800k damage or something like that with 600k defense, right? Like, that's what it's like in here. Like, you just, it's unbelievable, right, how much damage Broly does. And if that's not enough, AGL Broly double supers. He double supers. If you want any, like, evidence of dodge being, like, the strongest thing in the game, it's this Broly fight. Because without being able to dodge him, it's just brutal. You just come in here and you get massacred. Like, you take any team, any setup, you're coming in here just to get absolutely incinerated and obliterated, right? There's nothing you can really do in most instances, right? Like, we're dead. Like, it's like, cool, we made it past AoE Broly, I clawed and, you know, fought hard, and then we get to AGL Broly, and he just wipes us away. Like, it's literally, there's nothing we could do. Because if I didn't use the items against AoE Broly, we were dead. We would not have survived the AoEs, right? We make it to AGL Broly, we have no items left. You can only bring one item. GG. We lost. Like, there's actually nothing we can do. There's literally no counterplay, nothing. You cannot 3-dodge. You can't dodge. You can't do anything. You literally can't do anything, right? Like, that's why this fight is so hard. I don't have an issue with the difficulty of this stage, by the way. I would just say that I don't like the 3 attempts per day, all right? Like, that sort of, like, artificially is, like, extending the lifespan, I guess, of the event or whatever. I think they did not... You could... I think if you made each run 100 stamina, to me, that's better than 3 attempts per day. Right? Maybe it's easy for me to say that as a whale. I have infinite stones for stamina. So, again, like, Vegeta right here has 600k defense, right? He greatly stacks defense. So, boom, and he takes 800k... Like, this is why, like, you know, people, like, you know, they got their, oh, the Mickey Mouse wish. Uh-oh, Truth doesn't like Unit because it doesn't have guard or doesn't have damage reduction. Well, dude, 600k defense raw, and we take 800k damage. Like, what do you want to say, man? Like, you know, we need... Power creep was huge in the 7th anniversary with the characters we got, 200% leader skills and stuff like that. Keep in mind, this Heroes team, this is a full 170% lead team we're bringing into here. And the other thing about this, too, is full 170% team. These characters all individually are pretty good, right? Like, I don't think that these Heroes characters ended up being bad or anything like that. Like, not at all. It's, like, individually they can work very well on a lot of teams right now. This is just the strength of Broly. There's, you know, nothing much we can really do in here. Broly is a vicious monster, right? So at this point, like, we made it to AGL Broly in the first run. These next couple runs, it's just us just getting absolutely turned inside out, right? Like, zero chance. I wish we had a better support memory we could use for the Heroes team. When doing runs like this, I really like to bring a permanent buff item, right? But, like, there's none that buff any of these Heroes characters, right? Like, you know, we have the ones that buff the Planet Namek Saga characters, the ones that buff the Universal's Rival Arc characters. Eventually, we're going to get one that buffs Goku family, right? We have to just finish the 10 stages of Super Battle Road. That's coming up soon. I think JP is just about to get, I think, the 8th stage. So there's only going to be 2 more that we need to get, I think. And then after that, we'll be good. I try various different characters in here, but it's just like, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, super good. But, like, he has to get some attacks in first, right? Like, you know, he has to, see, look, like, it's just, like, there's not much we could do here. He has to attack. You know, he has to get his additional supers in. He has to start building up that defense, building up that damage for, he double supered, right? Like, look at that. Like, that's just how strong this event is. You know, Super Saiyan 3 Gohan potentially could have damage reduction, could look good. The Xeno Goku and Xeno Vegetas, right? They're able to, you know, greatly stack, so they're huge. But most characters in the game just can't even compete in this event, right? Like, you know, we're relying a lot on Super Saiyan 3 Trunks having, like, really good, like, guard, right? Like, getting his guard active. He's able to build up his defense. You know, what does he have? A 9-turn defensive, like, super attack effect buff. But, you know, if you don't get good luck, you're dead. The other thing, to remember when doing runs against Broly and Omega, both of them are like this, you can stun this Broly and then the first phase of Omega. So, like, Xeno Goku is huge here, right? Like, Xeno Goku gets the stun and you're good. He doesn't get the stun, you're probably dead, because he's not able to build up fast enough against, like, Broly and shit like that, right? The first run went really good. We were able to get stuns. Broly's attack positions were really good, but, I mean, you guys see what happens, because we cannot use items against this Broly, STR Broly. We can't use items at this point. We have to get through the AoE Broly, right? Like, this guy hits weakly compared to what comes later in the event. So you guys can see, like, this is over the course of multiple days too, right? Like, trying these events, and it's like we could barely struggle to even make it past SCR Broly, man. Right? Like, I think this video has like 5 attempts, and it's like only one we even make it past Tech Broly, right? Like, it's like we make it past SCR Broly twice, make it past Tech Broly once. So it's just like, you see these characters who it's like they might have been good before, but now they're not so good. And this is another reason why when newer characters are coming out now, I mean, I'm judging very harshly, because what is the purpose of putting out new units when they, like, a brand new unit that just gets crushed in here? What is the purpose of that, right? Like, you know, the new characters, especially premium characters, Dokkan Festival exclusives, and some of the LRs, to me, they really need to be able to perform well in some of these stages and here in the red zone. They don't necessarily have to be good against Broly, right? Like, dodging characters can still be good for Super Battle Road, Battlefield, stuff like that. You know, Omega, right? The reason why Omega is not even in the range of difficulty as, whatchamacallit, Broly, is because you can dodge Omega, right? You can dodge Omega, which instantly, he's 1,000 times easier, right? Like, dude, we get these rotations, there's, like, nothing we can do in a lot of them, right? So, there we go. I will do a bunch more runs with various other teams, and we, you know, we'll sort of see what, you know, what's going to happen here. I think the next one I'm going to do is with PyCon. A lot of people want to see PyCon in the red zone. I'm talking about AGL PyCon. He actually can perform very well against Broly, specifically with his Ghost Usher, right? He can't dodge, but it's like, if you can effectively hide him, if you get, like, so like on this rotation we put PyCon in the middle slot, right? Like, if we get good luck like that the whole way through, PyCon, I think, can be effective, and him having that Ghost Usher active skill to save us a turn potentially against AoE Broly, that's ridiculously powerful, right? Like, that PyCon actually can be effective in here. Goresh told me he saw a video by a Japanese YouTuber who beat Broly with a double PyCon team, right? So it was a full 170% connected Hope team. So PyCon and his active skill, very powerful. The tech androids as well. I don't know when I'm uploading this, but the tech androids, now that they're going to have a real team with Cell as lead, they are going to disintegrate this guy. The tech androids might be the single best unit in the game for this Broly fight, straight up. I think they actually probably will be, especially on Cell's team, so we'll see how that's going to go. I'll end here. Let me know what you guys think about our boy Broly here, and how the Heroes team, again, did it here. I think the Heroes team can win. You just need God RNG, right? Like, we made it to AGL Broly. You know, if we just get God RNG, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's just no possibility that we can withstand the damage from AGL Broly. It is possible, but I don't know. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll end here.